Okay, Alexis, so last time we met, you told me a little bit about yourself. You had mentioned that you have some issues with being a leader, and also you have trouble with not wanting to make people upset. You said that really bothered you a lot.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk a little bit more about those?
Well, I don't guess it's that I have issues being a leader, perhaps. It's just I don't like when people are upset with me. So when I have leadership positions like in my job, and it just makes me really nervous because like if I like implement like a program or something and they're gonna get upset with me, like I have trouble confronting them about it or being like, no, you have to do it this way because I really don't like conflict. I don't like people being upset with me. I don't like being upset with people. It just really bothers me.
I gotcha. So as far as your job, as far as times when you have got upset, does it happen more at your job or in other settings where maybe you're at school or something different? I guess as far as the times that you have got upset, where have you really been where it's really occurred the most?
I mean, I get upset in that moment obviously when they upset me, but I don't really tell anyone about it until I get home to my boyfriend, and then I feel bad about that too because then he has to listen to it. But I don't know. I have trouble confronting the person about the problem that I have because I don't want them to be upset with me because I have to face them every single day, like at work. So I'd rather just hold it in and talk to my boyfriend about it at home instead of telling them and then risk that awkwardness at work.
Gotcha. So so if you're at work and you get upset, for example, and I know you said you just hold your feelings in a lot and you just hold it in all day, I assume, until you get home and talk to your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Do the feelings remain after you talk to your boyfriend? For example, like if you go to work the next day or for the rest of the week, are you still going to be thinking about that in the back of your mind, and does it still kind of affect you at work? Or does the relief come out whenever you have someone to talk to like your boyfriend?
It comes out like whenever I can talk to him about it. I don't feel as bothered by it. It's just like if it's for a certain program and like I'm running it a certain way, and like when I'm at work, these people that have problems with it just, they roll their eyes or they do some things they don't like the way I'm doing it. So I'm more likely to either just change it just because I don't want to deal with the complaining or,
Gotcha.
you know what I mean? Like I would just rather not talk to them about it because they're either gonna get nasty with me or call me names or just, I don't like that confrontation. I feel like I don't have time for it. Like it's not worth the fight for me.
So really deep down, it kind of really hurts your feelings is what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like I put work into it. I try hard, and then when they're not pleased, it's just kind of like, well, I don't want to like make them mad even more, so I just don't say anything.
And it probably hurts worse that they don't really understand what you're feeling. They probably never expect it because you are the leader and the boss.
Yeah, I guess I just want to fix it because they don't have any problem being confrontational with me and like bringing conflict to me. It's just, I feel like I'm kind of being taken advantage of because they know I don't like confrontation and they know that I'm most of the time not going to do anything about it. I mean, every time I ever have done something about it, it just kind of backfires. Like, my boss will come up to me and be like, that's not the way you handle it and stuff like that. So it's just.
Gotcha. So you just said your boss comes up and he doesn't really help the situation either.
No,
I
not at all.
think you probably wouldn't want to talk to him about it. He
No.
probably makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, some of the people that work for me, like, got internships because of my boss and stuff like that, so, they're kind of on his good side, and so I feel like he just doesn't take what I take seriously.
I gotcha. So so you've told me that you get upset at your job. That's typically the place where you're the boss and your coworkers usually whenever you feel this feeling of anxiety, getting upset and stuff,
Yeah.
it's usually there. Do you still enjoy your job? Like as far as in the times where I guess you're not feeling this, or is it kind of like, does this persist on a daily basis or weekly or monthly? I guess I'm just trying to figure out how often it does occur.
I guess it occurs, every now and then. I wouldn't say every day because, But I wouldn't say it occurs every day, but a lot. I mean, it's part of grad school, so I'm technically not really getting paid for it, but I'm just trying to prove myself, you know? So when people have conflicts with me, it's just like I don't want to do anything to upset my boss because he could get me a real job in the future and just help me out. And so that's another reason I don't like competition at work, at least.
Gotcha. So, as far as had you ever considered the possibility of maybe trying to find a different position or at a different job or something? Maybe one, because I know right now you're in charge and you are the leader, and you really struggle with, I guess, taking what your coworkers throw at you a lot of times.
Yeah.
Had you ever considered a different position to where you didn't have as much leadership so that it might be a little more relaxed, or had you ever thought about that before?
Not really. I got this opportunity, I just took it, but I mean, that would make sense. I mean, I feel like that would probably be better for me. That way I wouldn't really have to deal with all the competition as much. So, I mean, that would be something to look forward to, but right now it's kind of like I have to do this because it's like the last step of graduate school.
So right now you're basically in a position where you feel like you just really need to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I love my job and I love doing it. It's just, I don't know if it's just these people or if it's me in general, because I don't know if I can't handle people. I don't know what it is.
Had you talked to anyone else other than your boyfriend, like for example, like your parents or guardians or maybe a relative or anything, or is it just kind of maybe your boyfriend's the only one you feel comfortable with? I was seeing if maybe anybody else like expressed their views, of maybe their thoughts on the issue.
Yeah, I talk to my boyfriend a lot because we live together, but I also talk to my best friends, and they always tell me, like, stick up for yourself, like, you're smart, like, you know what you're doing, and as much as I want to, it's just, I feel like I get to that point where I try to and I just can't, like, it won't come out, like, something blocks me where I don't want to say something.
Gotcha, that makes a lot of sense. So, as far as, you mentioned this is for graduate school.
Mm-hmm.
So how much longer would you say that you'll have to work this job until you can finally be done with it? Because I feel like maybe after you get done with this, then a lot of things might change. As far as like, you won't have the leadership over them necessarily.
Yeah.
So if you think of it like, hey, I've only got this much time until I'm done, you know, you kind of count it down in your mind, then it'll kind of ease the frustration if you think about the positive side like that.
Yeah, I have about 3 months left.
3 months?
Yeah, and then I will be completely done and I can go get a big girl job, as they say, where I actually get paid.
Gotcha. So, as far as like, do you think personally in the future that this will be an issue as well? I know it's kind of more of a hypothetical question, but I was just wondering, as far as like over the years, if this has happened before you had this job, or if it was just this one job and this one leadership position.
I think I'll have issues with it, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't just happen at work. It's just like, I mean, it happens like in school too. Like I said, I don't like to upset people, and I don't like them to be upset with me. So it's like, even like with my friends, like, or acquaintances, if we have an issue, I'm less likely to go up to them and be like, hey, I don't like that you did whatever, but it just doesn't happen that way.
But you would never confront your friends about it, even if they did something that maybe hurt your feelings, even just them.
Yeah, probably not.
Because you don't like the conflict, you said.
Yeah, I wouldn't really tell them that, because then I would be nervous that they would say something like mean or nasty to me, and then I would feel even worse. So it's just, to me, it's not worth it. It's not worth the fight. It's not worth being hurt even more. So I just don't say anything, and then it just kind of bottles up. And
yeah. So as far as even with your friends, I know you're in college and you got a lot of friends. So considering you don't want to make people upset, even them, is there times where, say example, they want to go out and you've got a lot to do and they're like, hey, come out with us, or something along those lines, and you feel like you're obligated to do certain things for the mere reason of, hey, they may get upset if I don't. Does that ever happen that you kind of feel obligated because you don't want to make them upset, or is it just at work with your coworkers?
Not really. It's normally like something like that they would get, or like, I just don't want to go out tonight or whatever. But I guess it's more at work and like with, I guess, serious issues. Like I'm trying to think of an instance, like if like my roommates, whenever I had roommates, and it wasn't my boyfriend, if they like didn't take the trash out or something, like I always took the trash out. Like, I mean, to me that's not really fair for me to do every time, but I would never confront them and be like, hey, do you want to take the trash out this time, because that might start a fight, like, or whatever, you know. So
yeah, and you're just trying to stay clear from it all day.
yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. So let's see. We know that as far as the main problem is, it's at work. Right now, you can't really get away from it because you need this for grad school.
Yeah.
And as far as being a leader, you can do it, but it's a real struggle.
Yeah. I mean, I love having those positions because I love to do that for work or for organizations or whatever. It's just, I guess I just want to learn how to stick up for myself, not necessarily just like, I mean, I understand that there are times that I don't need to be confrontational, but there are some times that I need to be as well. I just can't, and I really would like to be able to at least like stick up for myself, or being a leader, being like, no, this is how we do it.
Gotcha. So as far as I guess thinking, have you ever thought about any ways personally that, I guess, that's ran through your mind where you're like, man, what could I do to not feel so guilty, I guess, to where I wouldn't feel so bad and make people upset? Has any thoughts ever crossed your mind as far as maybe something you can do other than like talking to your boyfriend, or is it just one of those things as far as like you're just now thinking of it?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really thought of what I could do. I mean, anytime I have been confrontational or had conflict, I would like talk to my friends about it or something, and like just for that support and reassurance that it was okay in that situation. But it's still, there's like a gut feeling in me that's like, well, that wasn't worth the issues it's caused, whatnot. So I guess I don't really know how.
So considering you talk to him a lot, is your boyfriend, for example, would you say that his personality is kind of along the same lines? I'm just curious, just as far as, would he have a problem, I guess, sticking up for himself? Like, would it bother him if he was in your situation?
I don't think so. He's pretty good about confronting people in the right way, I guess. And
Really?
yeah, I guess that's probably why I talk to him, because he knows how to deal with these situations, as well as my friends too. They're the same way. They don't have any problem being like, no, this is how I feel, like this hurt me or whatever, and and I envy that.
Yeah. It's just hard for you because you know that they can do it, but and you would like to do it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what we're going to try to get out of the rest of these sessions.
Okay.
Is really get across to where we can get you to feel like, for example, your friends and how you do. Because we really want you to, I feel like the goal that we need to strive for is to get you to just still be the leader that you are, but be able to take all that worry and anxiety away, to where you can perform your job still like you are, but without the feeling of guilt and becoming upset.
Yeah.
So I think as far as the next session when we meet, we can really work on, I guess, some strategies and different ways and methods to really help you get used to confronting these problems. We may do a little like scenarios where I would be the coworker and you'd be my boss, and we may do some situations of where I may have something to say to you that might make you upset.
Okay.
And then we'll work on ways for you to counter that and work with how to basically put your foot down and handle it without all the anxiety.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, next time we will go with it.
Okay.